Cardinal football squad makes a dash for the state title, and 2 Coon Rapids swimmers make a splash at their own state journey. Joe, Jen, and I celebrate the Cards and US Bank Stadium as the girls hockey squad starts off their season. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. It was quite the Friday evening, afternoon, I should say.
It was a great. Obviously, everyone wishes they come away with the win, and we'd be talking about them going on to the Prep Bowl. But what an amazing story that they wrote this year and got them to that point. But what struck me is in the 3 games, meaning the two teams playing before us and the 2 teams after, the Coon Rapids Cardinal Nation was twice the size of any other fan section. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and it didn't surprise me because, they travel so well, quite obviously, and this is a very special opportunity for, very special squad, and these young men, boy, they have a nice season and so much to be proud of. And
absolutely.
It didn't turn out how we wanted it to turn out, but boy, they have nothing to hang their heads about. This was a season for the ages.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a phenomenal journey for these Cardinals. They took it all the way to the bank for the state semifinals. Unfortunately, they gave up a couple of big plays early and got into a hole they just couldn't dig out of. But the Cardinals fought to the finish and did themselves, their school, and their community proud. It was the first time in 36 years that Coon Rapids had made it to state, and they charged onto the field Friday in front of a great Cardinal Nation crowd. 2 really good defenses, and it's the Cardinals that come up with the first big play. Shai Williams with an interception on Chaska's opening possession sets the Cardinals up at the Hawks' 40-yard line. But 2 plays later, Chaska's defense takes it right back. Cage Montoya with a pick in front of Ryan Garlick deep in the Chaska end. Hawks held to 3rd and 14 from their own 3. Griff Wirtz airs it out to the left, and he finds Nick Snuggerud behind the defense. He catches it in stride, and he is end zone bound. A 97-yard touchdown opens the scoring. Late in the first now, Van Holzen to Tau on the screen. Michael Brown strips it and recovers for the Hawks on the Cardinals' side of midfield. First play of the second quarter, 4th and 3 for the Hawks out of the Wildcat. Great blocking opens a hole for Steve O'Klotz. He's going to take this one all the way to the house. A 36-yard run makes it 14-0 Chaska. Hawks marching again inside the Cards 35, but Shai Williams, another big play on defense, strips the ball. Jordan Nolan able to secure it along the sidelines. Defense held for 2 field goal attempts after missing from 45. Snuggerud hits one from 52 yards out just before the half. It's the 6th longest in state history. 17-0 Chaska at the half. Cardinals offense, a little more rhythm in the third quarter. David Jeebley able to get around the corner for a 22-yard gain on their first play of the second half. That sparked a great drive downfield. 1st and 10 from the Chaska 24. Van Holzen connects with Avant Shannon down the left sideline. He's forced out at the 4. Cardinals able to punch it in 2 plays later. Jeebley finds a seam in the middle for the 5-yard score. Coon Rapids on the board 17-6. Chaska answered, though, with a 15-play drive that took more than 6 minutes off the clock. Ends with Klotz running out of the Wildcat again, escorted to the end zone by purple jerseys. From the 6, Hawks up 24-6. After another field goal early in the 4th, Hawks find the end zone again. Matthew Kuntz scoring from the 3. That made it 34-6 with less than 6 minutes to play. Cardinals weren't going to stop. They weren't done scoring. Van Holzen, a nice gain on the keeper, gets Coon Rapids down to the 2-yard line. Van Holzen will score on the very next play, a sneak up the middle. Cardinals push their way to the paint. They converted the 2-point conversion, but that was the final 34-14. Sea of Red showing their love for this team that exceeded expectations with this outstanding season.
Boy, I watch that and I think back, and it kind of gives me goosebumps. In fact, you think about the start of the season and to this journey. It's awfully tough when you get down in a hole, especially against a good team like Chaska, and especially a team like Chaska who likes to run the ball. I mean, you look at time of possession in that game, and it was heavily in favor of the Hawks, and that's because what they did is they had long, sustained drives, and they did it mostly on the ground. And so, but the Cardinals, they fought to the very end. This team never gives up one way or the other. So it wasn't again. going to repeat myself, wasn't the outcome we wanted, but yet it was a great opportunity for what these young men accomplished this year. And again, they just didn't get over that last hump.
Yeah, it was a great accomplishment to get there. Just tough to see it go down the way it did. This is a defense that really hasn't given up big plays at all year. A problem that years past they've had is giving up those big plays throughout the season. Well, they didn't really do it all year, but 2 huge plays by Chaska in that first half. Chaska on to Faint St. Thomas, who beat Elk River 53-16 in the other semifinal, and
it's going to be a good one.
Coon Rapids lost to 4 teams this year. 2 of them are playing for this. No, they lost 4 games this year. 2 of the teams are playing for the state title. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Chaska beat actually St. Thomas the last game of the season 20-0. So I'm sure that St. Thomas is going to come in there and be ready to go. They, as you saw in that big win.
Well, if you like defensive football games, it
fun.
Looks like the 5A Prep Bowl is going to be your kind of battle.
It's going to be fun. Well, the football players weren't the only Cardinals competing for a state championship last week. A couple of swimmers were down at the U for their state meet. Junior Megan Schultz qualified for the 3rd straight season, and this time she wasn't alone. Sophomore Ella Hacker placed 3rd at sections, but posted a qualifying time to get the biggest meet of the year. Such an amazing venue and a great experience for these young athletes. Hacker making the most of it at state. She trimmed almost a full second off her section time in the 100 butterfly and got to the consolation final, where she finished 12th in state with a time of 57.89. A nice finish there for her. Junior Megan Schultz qualified the 100 butterfly and the 100 breaststroke for the 3rd year in a row, and Schultz was strong in both. She was 2nd best times at prelims, but falls to 5th in the final at the 100 fly. While Schultz qualified for the finals in both events, she posted a time of 105.33 seconds in the 100 breaststroke final and finishes in 7th place at state. Well, that's a pretty impressive end to her season, and yet she's got another year to go. So that's an exciting opportunity for Megan Schultz, and congratulations to her. She had a phenomenal season.
Absolutely, and for Hacker to make it there with her speaks a little bit about the depth they're starting to build with the program. We'll get into a lot more of that next week when we do the fall review show, but so much fun to watch Megan this year. I mean, she put up 5 of the records last year, and then starts with a couple of records in the first meet of this season. Has to go all the way to sections before she gets that last one, the 200 medley relay. But just a good team around her, a lot of young athletes to a program that should be expected to do great things again in the future.
Yeah, and she can start all over again next year, trying to best those records that she set this year.
Well, the girls hockey team opened its season hosting Totino Grace last Tuesday. The Bluebirds were division champions last season and return a lot of that talent. But it was the youth movement that made the biggest difference against the Eagles. Champlin Park Coon Rapids set the tone early and cruised to an easy victory. Just over 5 minutes in, Bluebirds with pressure off the faceoff. Abby Ness puts it on net. Anna Bezcalo right there to put the rebound home and get the scoring started. CPCR controlling the puck most of the night. Good end-to-end rush right here. Jaden Herr with a great saucer pass to Molly Terabeza. She buries the wrist shot and gets the Bluebirds a little breathing room. Another rush in the final minute of the first. This time it's Terabeza skating down the left wing, sliding it out front for Brooke Del Castillo. She waits for the keeper to slide by, slides it into a wide-open net, 3-0 after the first. More of the same in the second. Bluebirds on the power play. Great pass from Bezcalo to Delaney Johnson. Right there, easy tap in for her first of the year. Getting late in the period now, Terabeza again gets the puck with open space in front of her, and she's going to take this one right to the net. Scores her second of the game on the wrist shot, makes it a 5-goal lead for the home team. They add a couple more before the intermission. Pass comes to Abby Peterson at the point. She puts it on goal. Save is made, but Abby Ness is there to poke the rebound in. Freshman having an immediate impact. Final minute of the second, Delaney Johnson, great rush around the corner. She gets taken down, but Ness right there, redirected home, her second goal of the 3rd point of the game. 7-0 going to the 3rd. Running time in the final frame. Bluebirds add one more on the power play. Ness with a chance. Then the rebound slid to Terabeza. She puts that in a yawning cage for her 3rd, gets the hat trick, in her season debut. Had 4 points, 3 goals, and an assist for young Molly Terabeza.
Well, a much tougher task for the Bluebirds on Thursday when they traveled to take on Burnsville. The Blaze were 18-7 last season and opened with a dominant 7-2 win. Both teams looking to start the season with a win streak, so an important early season game. Burnsville strikes first. Kendra Dristad races in on net. The rebound right to Maddie Mazenik, who scores and gives the Blaze an early edge in the first. Bluebirds have evened it up late in the opening period. They play it in deep as Kahlo able to dig it free. Play it out front. Abby Ness with a one-timer to make it 1-1 with less than 2 minutes left. Nice goal there. CPCR gets a little momentum in a power play before the first break. Sarah McClellan shot from the point of stop, but Ness jumps on the rebound, backhands it past the keeper. Bluebirds up 2-1 after the first. Nice second goal of the game for her. Blaze get it back in the opening minute of the second. Emily Howard finds top shelf short side. In and out, so quick it seemed like the post, but it was a goal, and it's 2-2. Bluebirds just going to answer just 2 minutes later. Terabeza stopped in close. Ness puts another rebound home. She has the hat trick, and CPCR in front 3-2. A little midway through the second, a bad turnover on the power play. Kendra Dristad trying to play it out front. Goes off a defender's stick into the net. Shorthanded goal evens the score. Tough one there. Well, they get their first lead late in the period. Face-off win, shot from the point is tipped. Katie Katzmarek out front. Burnsville has a 4-3 advantage going into the third. Now the Blaze, they're going to control the final frame, and they get another shorthanded goal. Sammy Bowlby to Aubrey Nelvin for the backhand in close. Burnsville's going to add an empty net goal and hands the Bluebirds a 6-3 loss.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but obviously a lot of speed and,
Yep.
and some good depth from that Burnsville squad. I'm pretty excited about what this girls' team might be able to accomplish. How about the start for sophomore Abby Ness? She has 2 goals and an assist in game 1 and puts a hat trick in game 2.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the game against Totino Grace is definitely a lesser team. They took control and they showed them who was boss, and they didn't let them play at all in that evening.
Well, Totino Grace is definitely not the standard that they will face. They will see a lot better teams, including Burnsville. And this Thursday, when they travel to take on the Maple Grove Crimson, always a very strong team, the Cardinals will host, or the Bluebirds rather, will host the team from Osseo Park Center on Saturday.
Correct.
And Howie?
CTN will be there.
That's right. We'll be there at 7 o'clock on Thursday night for the girls hockey game against Maple Grove. We got some other fall sports creeping up on the schedule now as others get their season going. Our first look at the girls basketball team on Tuesday the 26th, and then some more girls hockey against Buffalo on Saturday the 30th. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying goodnight.